Here we are with Shayna Baszler. How exciting is it going into this week?
Man, it's WrestleMania week. It's like hit the nitrous button and let's get going.
At what point does it start really seeing? Obviously, you're working it up all the way for this moment, but at what point does it really oh my God, here we go?
It's gonna be once SmackDown's on Friday and the final thing to worry about is WrestleMania. Then it's gonna be like, because I mean the week is so busy. It's just the next thing. Okay, I got press. Okay, I got this. I gotta go to the school and do the thing. It's very much like your vision's right here. But once all that's done, SmackDown's done. All there's left is Mania. Then it's like, holy crap, yeah.
And what's that moment you're looking forward to? That one that you're like, oh, it's here.
I think walking out of the curtain and down that ramp. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that regardless, but it's even crazier at Mania.
And then going into this with your good friend, how special is that for you? Because that kind of changes everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love being at work with their best friend, right? And then on top of that, I moved from South Dakota to LA to live with Ronda, train on the team and all that. And so it's kind of like a full circle moment to have this like, here we are, a team, the pinnacle of our teamness in LA where it all started. It's kind of this full circle.
And teaming with Ronda, do you believe that adds a little more pressure or does that make it easier?
It's something I'm used to, honestly. Like, I think it was more of a bigger deal being associated with Ronda when I was fighting. Because it's like Ronda was obviously one of the greatest fighters to ever do it. And being there at the time of her, it was like everyone expected, if I wasn't at that expectation, then I was a failure. And so I already got used to that. So here, we're just us. This is the full form of us, over 9,000, you know what I mean? So.
And in this women's division, can you talk about being a role model, leadership for young girls watching on TV, those that are going to be in attendance? What's that like for you?
I think it's interesting to think about. I have 3 nieces, and they're all.
I got 2.
Yeah, and they love watching wrestling, and so I find myself having to explain away some of my actions.
Yes.
But it's cool to think because they've been to some shows, when we've been nearby where they live and stuff, and it's I don't know, it's cool to think, like, to try to put myself in their shoes. Like, when I was a wrestling fan, if I could meet these, like, larger-than-life superheroes. So it's on the broader picture. I think more than just being, a women's wrestler, having nieces and seeing their reaction to stuff really puts that into perspective, that's a thing that's going on, you know what I mean? And I like being an example that you don't have to fit this kind of mold to be successful, and I think there's a lot of girls that want to hear that. So.
And what's the biggest takeaway everyone should take away from this moment? When you get to that moment where you are, like, WrestleMania is probably the biggest moment for any wrestler. What's the moment everyone needs to take away from?
Like when they're there?
Yes.
It's going to sound really cliche, but like you truly don't know that these are the best days of your life while you're living it. So like be where you are. We spend so much time trying to get to the next thing. Be where you are, because this isn't going to happen again. You don't know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's not promised. And we are in Hollywood. What movie describes you?
Describes me? Ooh, that's an interesting question. I think that's a tough question. I think the original Rollerball, Jonathan E, the James Caan one. I think Jonathan E is a good representation of me. The whole place trying to bring me down and just standing up and fighting for it all anyway.